For those of you who don't know, my name is Bongiorno, and I am a diabetic health coach, yoga instructor, and a type 1 diabetic since I was 7 years old. I'm going to reveal to you what I believe to be the key to thriving with type 1 diabetes. A simple fact that when we are first diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, everything is really centered around the blood sugars. So raise your hand if, when you were first diagnosed, or if someone in your family was first diagnosed, they told you what to do when your blood sugar was low. Take juice, 15 carbs, wait 15 minutes, right? And then on the flip side, who here was taught what to do when their blood sugar was high? You need to take insulin. At the core here, this is what I call the basic foundation, our basic survival tools. And I call them the basic survival tools because really what they are just foundation kind of things to keep you alive as somebody who's walking out of the hospital with type 1 diabetes, right? These are the key things that we need to know. But where the problem is that we sometimes don't learn the rest, right? There's this whole other chunk of what it is to live with type 1 diabetes that goes way beyond the blood sugars. How I realized this was because for myself, over the past several years living with type 1 diabetes, I realized that diabetes isn't just about the physical, right? It's not just about the blood sugars. It's not just about knowing how much juice to take, how much insulin to take. It's about the mind as well, and your mindset, right? And how you view yourself as a type 1 diabetic. Or 18 years old as a freshman in college. And that particular night, I remember my friends wanting to go out for frozen yogurt, getting dinner and frozen yogurt and go to the movies. And at this time in my life, I was somebody who wanted to be perfect, wanted to be a perfect diabetic, wanted to be a perfect child, perfect in all areas of my life. And to me, the blood sugar number was a reflection of if I was perfect or if I was not. And I knew at this time in my life that if I was to go out and get frozen yogurt with my friends, I might have high blood sugars in the night, I might not be eating the best quality, healthiest food I can possibly be eating and fueling my body with. And so I chose to let go of the social aspect, and I chose to stay in that night by myself. And see, the problem is that happened a lot through my college and my teenage years. I said no to a lot of things because I wanted to be perfect with my diabetes and have absolute control. And I hid my diabetes from a lot of people because I didn't want to take out my pump in public and I didn't want people to know that I was different. Just office during this period of my life, I had a 5.7 A1C. And on paper, I was a perfect person with diabetes. I had it all under control. But my personal narrative, and what I'll share with you, is that, ironically enough, my diabetes, I wasn't in control of it. My diabetes was completely controlling me. As a diabetic health coach, what I do is I'm support, I'm accountability, and I'm guidance for people with type 1 diabetes in between their endocrinologist appointment. So they come to me, and I cite people all around the world, and what I hear most of the time is, can you help me lower my A1C? Can you help me increase my insulin sensitivity for weight loss? Can you help me achieve more predictable and stable blood sugar numbers? But what's so interesting about this is that if you look at the person from the start to the finish, not only at the end do all of them achieve their goals that they set, because a lot of people can do that if they have the right support and guidance and accountability, but they report feeling things that are so much more than what they thought that they needed. They're feeling more peace of mind, less stress, more in control, more able to have a lifestyle where they're going out and they're being flexible with their food and they're not suffering with their blood sugars, right? And so all of these pieces, really what they are is, it's how to build an empowered mindset. When you're in tree pose, right? When you're in a balancing pose, let's say, the instructor might say, watch your breath. How are you feeling in this moment? Are you tensing up for afraid of falling, or are you okay in this moment of uncertainty? And you're also going to notice that all 4 of these things are practice 1, practice 2, practice 3, and practice 4 because it is a practice, right? Just like you practice at getting better at testing your blood sugars, you have to practice at doing these things over and over. The body will learn, but we have to proactively do it. Just like if somebody goes to the gym, right, and they want to work out their biceps and get their arms stronger, so they just go in once and say, okay, I'm done. I worked out and then I'm good for life. No, they practice it over and over. They go to the gym, they build routines so that they can create results. So practicing mindfulness. So let me tell you a story about me. I grew up as a soccer player. I was very intense. I loved athletics. I was very hardcore, and I probably could not touch my toes for the life of me for the first 18 years of my life. And yoga was something that was so foreign to me. I didn't know what it was, but I had to take a college credit for the end of my college years. I had to take a credit for PE. And I was a Division I soccer player at the University of North Carolina, Wilmington, if anybody's familiar. All I heard was split in half. bell. So I was like, okay, Lauren, stay calm.